Welcome back in. More of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. John tweets in.
Hi, John.
At Happer Show, or at Connor Happer, at producer_Josh, highflutenjosh.com. Here's what the tweet says. Left empty cardboard boxes on the curb after moving, thinking they were garbage. Stacks of them, gone in less than an hour. No idea who took them. The curb is a wormhole. I think everybody has this experience. Send me the things that you left on your curb to be thrown away, only to be taken by random magical beings in the next 20 minutes.
Poll question up at Happer Show. Is the curb a wormhole?
Send me your list of the things that you've left on the curb. For me, lamp, like pavers, like little cinder blocks.
Oh, yeah?
Gone.
Gone.
How did they get the equipment to load them up and take them away in such a short period of time? And I never have seen it. I don't know. All right. Turn on the TikTok camera, Josh. Here we go. Turn on the, this is where your clip starts. I had a realization over the weekend. And this is something that I've been thinking about for a little while. And we got great vibes around here with our local basketball teams. They're performing well. It's beautiful outside. They're all going to the tournament. Very happy. I've never been happier. I had that realization. I was like, wow, this feels really, really good right now. We love basketball season. Some are saying that this is a basketball state. And so it's time to take it to the next level and tell you something that you believe, but you've been told your whole life to not believe. And that is this. Basketball is better than football. That's right, Josh. It's time to finally admit it to ourselves out loud. This state has brainwashed you for years and years and years. Football this, football this. We have to talk about all these football topics. Who's going to be the fourth string running back this year? I'll never know. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. You ever notice how we're so happy right now and we haven't talked about football in weeks, Josh? Weeks.
I have noticed that.
Interesting.
But Connor,
it's time to finally admit it to yourself.
Who were the 100 best offensive linemen of the 1980s?
Don't care. We shouldn't have to care. And it's time to stop pretending like we care. Basketball is better than football. Especially college basketball is better than college football. And it's not just local. There's always basketball on the television, especially around this time of year. There's a game at 11. There's a game at 2. There's a game at 4. There's a game at 10:30 p.m. There's always a basketball game on. And they always mean something. Whether it means a little, whether it means a lot. And yet we'll sit there and we'll watch football games that don't have any importance whatsoever, even for the teams that are playing in them. And we'll pretend like, oh, it's football, so it's on. We just have to watch it because it's football. And we'll miss football when it's gone. Guess what? I don't. I like football when it's here. I don't miss it when it's gone.
But Maction.
We have to watch Bowling Green in Western Michigan on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. No, we don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter to those teams. They're not going to bowl games. They're both 4-8. Why do we care about the game? Because we're brainwashed. Society has brainwashed us into believing that if you don't watch the football, then it'll just leave you. For some reason, somehow, society has done this to us. We don't have to sit around in basketball and just wait for the games to happen on Saturdays and for some random old white dudes to decide who gets to be the national championship. Guess what they do in basketball? They just put all the teams in the tournament and they all play each other.
More teams than we want.
And the teams get to decide. Football has too much politicking. It's not even really about football anymore. In basketball, all the games matter. There's very little room to just make up fake narratives like we constantly do all the time because we've brainwashed ourselves into believing that football matters all the time. Does the ball go in basketball? Yes, it's good. Josh, let's do a little exercise.
Okay.
Take your pick. Would you like 2 hours of nonstop action or 4 hours where you have to wait 40 seconds in between a small burst of 6 seconds of action. Which one do you want?
Well,
this is a blind resume test. One of them's football, one of them's basketball. I'll tell you that right now.
The way you described it, that first one sounds pretty sweet.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Basketball rules.
There's definitely no stoppages of play towards the end of a basketball game.
But guess what?
They're very quick.
The longest a basketball game has ever been is like 2.5 hours.
That's true.
And those are the really, really good ones. We have 5-hour football games that do nothing. There's nothing happening the entire time. And yet we are told for some reason that we love football because we love the action that's happening. They play for 5 seconds at a time, and then you just wait. You wait and you wait and you wait. Oh, they got to put the weird cue cards up with Margot Robbie on it and a color. And
you love Barbie.
I do love Margot Robbie, but she was just the first person on top of my head for no reason, by the way, today. So they have to put the cards up and they have to signal stuff in, and there's 700 coaches, and they're all in the book, or they're all in the box just saying stuff into the headsets. They play for 5 seconds at a time. 5 seconds. There's a shot clock in basketball. It's 30 seconds. It's 24 in the NBA. They'll play for generally at least that amount of time, and sometimes much, much longer. Sometimes in basketball, they'll just be playing basketball for 5 minutes in a row. It's amazing. We don't get that in any other sport. They just play. They just hoop. And when they go 5 minutes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, usually the ball is going in. It's incredible to watch. Did you not enjoy Creighton making all of their first 7 shots on the road on Saturday? I did.
30-8 was pretty sweet.
30-8 was cool. 10-0 was cool. 23-2 was cool. All of those leads were cool. Did you not enjoy Keisei Tominaga doing 3 goggles everywhere and holding out his arms and doing this to his head? I did. I liked that. I liked it a lot. Let's make a timely comparison, Josh.
All right.
Would you rather watch a 3.5-hour movie about a bomb where nothing happens?
3-hour movie.
Or would you rather watch a very colorful 2-hour movie with musical numbers, bright colors, beautiful actors and actresses, and a great plot, may I add? I know which one I'd pick.
Give me the bomb movie.
I know which one I'd pick. You say this with hindsight.
Many are saying Oppenheimer was the bomb.
Now, there's one more point here with Bat. There's lots more points, by the way. I would encourage people to really just, if this is for anything, I'd like you to just think about it. Just entertain me.
Oh, it's a thought exercise?
It's a thought exercise of sorts. Entertain me for a little while. Like, humor me.
The replies are rolling in. We'll get to them.
Do me a favor and just think about this for a little bit. And pretend like you haven't been brainwashed for your entire life. Give it some critical thought. That's all. Now, there's one more point here, Josh.
Okay.
Now,
you've made quite the case.
It's a little risque. It's a little risque.
Spicy?
It might be a little spicy.
Oh.
So what happens in football? They play 6 seconds at a time, and what happens at the end of the 6 seconds? They ram into each other. And what happens as a result of that, Josh? Guys get hurt.
Yeah. A lot of injuries.
They get woozy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people who have come close to death.
One guy did die.
He literally died and came back. Now, it probably wasn't much because of the football, but he got hit in the perfect spot. Basketball, no CTE. You ever heard of that before?
Yes, I have.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I could play basketball without an Achilles. Kobe Bryant shot free throws without an Achilles.
People forget.
That happened. You can't do anything without a brain. Think about that. I rest my case.
It's hard to argue that point because I don't want to. I mean, I
barely wanted to make it. But I felt like it was appropriate.
It's an excellent dismount. You plant your flag in the take with that. Like you're firmly entrenched.
Is there an argument against it?
You're not just renting the space that basketball is better than football. By saying the CTE point, you are like, okay, I'm adding floors to this property. I'm trying to raise the property values here on Basketball Street.
I got a tweet here from Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas.
I've never heard anything dumber, including when my toddler says goo goo gaga. Anything on the YouTube?
Yes, many things.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson Steel Flex.
Mm-hmm.
Recency bias alert. Jeff agrees with you. NIL is ruining football and it's making basketball better.
Maybe a little too much politicking in football.
Husker country.
Maybe a little bit too much stuff that isn't football. I mean, I could, if you're telling me it happens 12 times a year, 3.5 hours, right? Like, okay.
We only get 12
but then we waste all of this air and all of this breath talking about NIL and transfer portal and blah, 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 and this and that and this and that. It's just nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. It's not even about football anymore. It's not at all about football. Continue.
Husker Country says, Connor H. Horrible take.
Once again, I invite you to critically think. Just a little. Just sit down. You don't have to think about the points that I made. Maybe I made good points. Maybe I made bad points. But just tear it all down and reevaluate for just a little bit. Pretend as if these things are both new to you. Pretend as if football and basketball are both new things to you.
Okay, I'm there.
Right?
Brand new sports.
Think about how the games work. Think about how the games work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, basketball seems a lot more appealing to me.
I like when people fight.
They fight in basketball.
Yeah, I saw that.
They do fight in football too, so maybe there's a point for football.
But they're wearing helmets when they fight.
But once again,
and that's silly.
We talk about how much action there is in football, and it's 3.5 hours, and there's only 12 games all year. You know what's great about like our local basketball teams here? When they win in their conference tournament, they'll play the very next day. And then they'll play again the very next day. They'll just keep playing. The sport will be there for you all the time. We don't have to do this hand-wringing during the week. Do you think they should have ran the ball out of the shotgun on 3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line? We don't have to talk about that stuff. And if we do, we get to talk about it for a grand total of 24 hours. It's amazing. It is amazing.
I have some tweets.
Go ahead.
Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
All I got out of the Happer rant is cancel Husker football and bring on Husker hockey.
No. This is not about the Huskers. This is not about the Huskers. This is about football. But I will add with the Huskers. I could talk about the Huskers a little bit. Think about what's constantly made you sad for the last 20 years.
Large sample size, by the way.
Think about how much time you've wasted on that football team and how little they've given you for 20 straight years. The basketball team made the tournament. They're going to make it twice. They might win a game. Little to no investment. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Or you could be a J-sker.
Nick tweets in.
Hi, Nick.
Best take of the year.
Best take of the year. Just think about it. Just think about it. That's all I'm doing this for. I want people to think about it. Aaron's here for soccer.
Football?
He says this is why soccer is so amazing. It's on constantly, and it's 2 hours in and out every time without insane stoppage and fouls constantly. This is easily the best way I could sell it to people who don't like it, because once you start watching it, you will continue to watch it. I actually agree with Aaron on soccer. Soccer is pretty good. Baseball games are shorter now. Those are good.
Many people attacking your action makes the sport better take.
Well, that's just what I've been told for football for all these years. This is what we want.
Mm-hmm. Ryan comments in on Twitter. With the points you made, you must really hate baseball. A lot of stoppages, not a lot of action.
There's not any action in baseball?
Well, very short bursts.
Very short bursts.
You don't get those minutes-long segments that you love.
But that's the way it was designed. That's what we always know about baseball. We don't have this fake idea of what it's supposed to be in our heads. Baseball is for the casual person who wants to walk into the ballpark on a Saturday afternoon, grab a hot dog, spend a couple innings walking around the stadium, grab a beer, and then sit down and watch as long as you want before you're sick of sitting and you get back up and you get more hot dogs and you get more beer. That's why baseball exists. We are under no illusion that baseball is supposed to give us all this action, right?
That's true. That's true.
We're under no illusion. At least you shouldn't be. If you're holding that against baseball, you shouldn't be. That's not what it's trying to be. It's not.
Jeff comments in. Let's go further, Connor. Every point you made shows that hockey is better than both.
Hockey, great sport. I love hockey. Go Mavs. Suck it, North Dakota. How's that weekend taste?
We own you.
Hockey's awesome too. But this is about basketball, which is better than football. And then in football season, football will be pretty good.
Benoit emails in.
Hi, Benoit.
During a break, quietly check Connor's skull. He may have been struck in the noggin by errant baseballs this weekend.
No, I don't have CTE.
Because you didn't play football.
Mm-hmm. Bullet Point Bob emails in.
BPB, what up?
College hoops superior to college football. You are 100% right. Bullet Point Bob has never agreed with me on anything.
Connor Happer.
He has never agreed with me.
Meme.
He has 3 more bullet points, though.
Connor Happer is a uniter, not a divider.
With all the bracketologists, please remove Nova from the field. They're like 7 and 15, please. They're not very good. Looks like the college football playoff committee is 7 white guys and 6 people are neither white or guys. Well, you get the point. They're in suits. It's all the same. And 4th bullet point, how perfect was the Creighton game? They pee away a huge lead, but still managed to get the win and hopefully keep an under-deserving Nova team out of March Madness. You're damn right, Bob. That's why basketball is sick. Basketball is awesome. Did you see Creighton's jerseys?
I did.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Just marinate. That's all. I'm not asking you to do much with this. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I just want you to open up your mind and think about it a little bit.
Football's great. The legal tampering period just started minutes ago. Legal tampering.
It's all a trick. You guys are being tricked by society into thinking that this matters.
Transactions.
This does not matter. They play football for 4 months. They play 12 or 17 games or 20 or whatever it might be in the new college football playoff or the new NFL playoff, whatever it might be. Play like 10 to 20 games in a 4-month period. And that's the stuff that matters. And yet you've been tricked into thinking all of this other garbage that happens in March matters. No, it's basketball time. And it's time to adjust your brains. Because our teams are going to the NCAA tournament. This is a basketball place right now. Forget football even exists. We'll start thinking about football later. Maybe in like August. But right now, this is the spot for us. Because basketball is better than football on March 11th. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?